So on part 1, it was pointed out to me I made a little faux pas about where to drain the carb. You'll have to forgive me, my carb is sealed, so no fluid will actually seep from this. But for everybody else, if you release this screw, this is your drain plug for the bottom of your carb. So I'm not exactly sure with the sun how this is coming out, but this, my friends, is what a spark plug looks like when it's way too rich. And that was the problem with the scooter. She flooded out. The ideal spark plug should look a little bit more like this. The rust color on it tells you that your gasoline and your air are burning across the spark plug at a better rate than when it's rich or when it's lean. Now, to diagnose if the problem is fixed, the best way is to use a brand new spark plug. So we'll be dropping a new one in. The clean spark plug will help me diagnose the engine a little bit better. All right, so today, as promised, we're gonna rejet our carb, we're gonna install our pod filter, and we're gonna reroute some vacuum hoses. So the first thing I noticed was when I first opened up my Keenan Japanese 26mm carb, that the jets in the carb were not labeled. So as a good starting point, I have here jets that were purchased that do have the numbers on them. For example, this main jet, and I don't know if you can see it or not, we're gonna start out with is a 115, and the pilot jet is going to be a 35. Now these numbers indicate the size of the jets and will help you diagnose if you're getting too much gas or too little. It'll also help you know what jets are better for which parts of the season. So if I'm rocking these jets during the summer, they're not gonna be ideal when it gets cold. So I've already done a pretty good cleaning on the carb with my carb cleaner, but I do wanna show you the ports where the jets go, and your main jet's gonna go here, and your pilot jet's gonna go all the way in there. So I'm gonna install my main jet in first. And now I'm gonna put in the pilot. And now we'll tighten them down with our flathead screwdriver. You want to be careful not to twist too much. Just seat it, because they will break. So now that we've rejetted the carb, we want to put on our float bowl. And now we'll bolt it down with our 4 Phillips head screws. All right, so with our carb back in place, we want to make sure we attach our throttle cable. We want to make sure we plug in our auto enricher. Don't forget that fuel line we took off before. And last but not least, our vacuum hose. So one of the hard facts of life and being a Chinese scooter owner is that it's really hard to install just a pod filter attached directly to the carburetor. You see that bar? That's going to get into your way of any progression in installing a pod filter directly onto the carb. So in lieu of that, we'll be installing a uni filter attached to a nibby pipe, and that'll help us extend past that bar. Now, of course, with this nibby pipe, you want to make sure you have clearance of your tire. And now that that's been confirmed, let's tighten it up. Now we got to decide what we're going to do with these vacuum lines that we have here. Now remember, I mentioned this one that was going into the old air filter, and what you can do with it, you can detach it and throw it out of here. From there, I want to preface it, but what I'm going to show you is how I'm rerouting my vacuum hoses on my particular bike. So with that being said, I'm going to detach the one that vents the head, and I'm gonna use this to vent the head with. This is a 3/8 hose on top of a K&N filter, and this is what the bypass gases will go into that shoot past the cylinder head. And with that, I'm gonna just use a zip tie to seal it. So with that all set, we have one more hose we have to worry about, and that's coming from your CVT. And that is this one right here. Currently, as you can see, it's zip tied to my brake cable. So let's cut that, and we're gonna remove our T connector. So as I mentioned before, a lot of people do different things with this hose, put filters on the end of them. I'm just gonna reroute it to the back of the bike so it'll help my CVT breathe. So I actually found a good place for it coming out of my license plate holder. So if you made it all the way to the end of this video, I want to say thank you. I gotta apologize, there hasn't been a lot of videos about Hope as of yet, but I'm working really hard on the mini bike, as seen here, here, and what the heck, throw up a third one here. But no excuses. I'm aware I still have to name my contest winners, but along with that, as you can see, the video didn't show you anything about tuning the bike. So I'm introducing a tuning series so you, the viewer, will be able to see the ups and downs of tuning these bikes by ear and by smelling. So again, I want to thank everybody who's still watching, all the past and present subscribers, and you know I'll see y'all in a minute. Peace.